guys, it's markabusi here and we're back with another song reaction, and today we are doing the song The Spirit of Radio by Rush, which I have been assured is one of Rush's biggest and best songs. It's only 5 minutes long though, so I can't imagine it's going to be particularly Rush-esque. We're going to go in, we're going to listen to it, right? It's probably going to be an absolute fucking banger, let's be honest here, because it's Rush. But the real question for me is, how emo is Rush? And I'm asking that because Rush, direct descendant of Coheed and Cambria, who are quite emo. So in my head, in the same way that Neil Young is like the godfather of grunge, is Rush the godfather of emo? I can see why this is considered one of their catchier songs as opposed to the ones that have been like, Xanadu, for example. When he comes in with the singing, the timing is 4/4, which is instantly just easier to get your head around than 90% of anything that I've heard by Rush before. It started with that weird guitar line. Well, not a weird guitar line, it was like a picky guitar line, and I thought I had the timing for that down as soon as he started playing it. And then the drums kicked in, and Neil Peart just went, fuck it, who needs timing? And I had no idea what was happening. No idea what was happening. Clearly, these guys do, but I don't have a degree in mathematics, and I was lost instantly. It's fine, because the singing came in, it all tied us all back in again, and it was alright. Rush is kind of weird that way, though, in the way like they'll start some music, and it kind of chaotically expands outwardly. And then, just as I'm starting to get completely lost in this weird soundscape that they've created, something will happen that will bring it all back together again, and I'm suddenly back in with it, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can go with this. Kind of like that. I feel like I need to be in the mood for it, because it's not an easy listen, by any means. If you are in the mood for it, it's a fucking trip. Like this entire song is about, well, okay, the spirit of the radio. It seems like he's basically kind of railing against all of the things that he's finding in the music industry that kind of annoys him, and also trying to give his kind of response back to it. So there's the whole, when he's talking about like all this machinery making modern music can still be open-hearted. I get the feeling that like people at the time that this was made was railing against how like synthesized music and stuff was maybe wrecking music as they know it, because they're used to people in a room bashing out on instruments, and this felt like it's that whole thing where like when music changes and then the previous generation kind of is like, I think he's saying like as long as you go into writing the music with heart, then it doesn't actually matter what instrument you're using to make that music. It still has that emotional connection to it. When you're writing music, it doesn't matter how you make it. It should just be that you're making it because you want to make music, not because you're going after like awards or recognition or even fans. You should be doing it because you want to make music, and it doesn't matter how you go about doing that or what method you use to make that music, as long as you're honest with it. I think that's my takeaway from it so far. His singing is a little one note, and I can see why folk would maybe find his voice a bit annoying. So far, I'm not really minding it. I've listened to bands with much worse singers, so I'm kind of okay with it. There was a fucking switch up and a half. That completely. They did a really weird kind of breakdown thing, and then where they were, like, I don't know how best to describe it, but and then it just switched into a completely different tone of song. But I was fucking. I'm going back for that. Hold on. This time. So cool.
For the words of the prophets were written on the studio wall.
What the fuck? How can you go from like whatever the fuck they were doing, rock, and then you do that weird, crazy fucking bit, and then you kick into it was almost like reggae fucking calypso? Is that what style is? Like a reggae ska, and then it's just like, for like a bar, and then go, fuck it, right, we're done with that, back on. Just, oh, that was wild. Right, hold on.
For the words of the prophets were written on the studio wall.
right? There's a weird drum thing happening in the back of my headphones that's playing like it's like a steel pan, I think, because it's playing specific notes, and it's really, really weird in the back of my head, and that's fucking mental. What is actually going on? How is this like their biggest radio song? It's all over the fucking place.
Written on the studio wall. A concert hall. Echoes with the sound of salesmen. Of salesmen. Of salesmen.
That was fucking wild. That was wild. I'm officially on the fence with the singing. And I hope you guys don't come for me in the comments, but he has got a very distinctive tone of voice that's... it kind of works. It kind of works. I don't know if it would work in any other band, honestly. I don't think melodically that was their strongest song. But I also don't really think that Rush is that fussed about melody so much as they are about musical artistry. And if you come at the song from that angle, that was wild. That whole back half where they just started just switching genres just at the drop of a fucking hat was seamless. It was seamless, but also shouldn't possibly have worked. Somehow they just went, there you go guys, we've done it. That was wild. Now we've got the important thing, which is how emo are Rush. So we've got a wee sad face here, right? You can see them, twinkly guitars. The guitars were very twinkly, right? The guitars were very twinkly. Now in the previous Rush video, I did say that I thought the guitarist was the weakest member of that band, and I stand by that, but only in terms of look at who else he's in a fucking band with. Excellent guitarist who was just twinkling away like crazy, and this is where the twinkly guitars go, right? And the singing, there, science. Come at me all you want, but see all this time that you've been like, oh, Rush is like the greatest kind of prog rock band on the planet. Nah, they're a very good emo band. Very good emo band. Yous all like emo? Look at yous. They're primo. Look at yourselves in the mirror, guys. You're looking at a primo fan, which is emo. Before emo was a thing. The granddaddies are emo. It's like your emo's papa. Listen guys, I've been markabusi. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see yous next time.